So yeah, welcome to this video. Pleb Hash, we have here on this call Lorban, GitGab, we're all contributors to the Stratum V2 reference implementation. And today we're doing a little bit of a workshop, and the goal is to dive into the message generator. Message generator, this little tool that we have on SRI that is meant to do interoperability tests between SRI and other potential Stratum V2 implementations, right? SRI, the Stratum reference implementation, is this Rust code base, but Stratum V2 is a spec that you can find here. And people could also implement this spec in other languages. So it's useful to have a tool that will test interoperability between different implementations. So I don't have a lot of experience with it, but Lorban has been working with it for a while now, and we're going to take this opportunity to spread some knowledge, right? I'm going to learn how to write a test for message generator, and we're recording this so we can also pass this knowledge to the community in the future. So we need a scenario that we want to reproduce, right? So I chose this issue here, issue 791, something I observed when I was trying out my bit-ax. The bit-ax is a little ASIC miner that's very small hash rate, and it uses Stratum V1, right? So we need to deploy a translator proxy for that, and I saw that when the bit-ax was mining, a lot of shares were getting rejected because the bit-ax would receive a new job, but it wouldn't switch jobs right away, right? It stays a little time working on an old, now invalid job, and when it sends that share to the translator sees that, hey, this job is old, so we're not going to take it, and we're going to reject it. But then it sends a Stratum V1 message downstream to the bit-ax, and this message should tell the bit-ax that the share was rejected, but right now the message is saying that the share was accepted. So that's a bug. It's we don't want the translator proxy to behave like that. And it's a kind of a very simple scenario, right? There's not too much complexity in it. So I think it's a good thing that we try to reproduce it with the message generator. And so I made this visual diagram here to illustrate what is going on. So we have here in the middle the translator proxy, or just T proxy, right? And first it sends a setup connection message to upstream, where upstream could be a job declaration client, or it could be just a pool. And then it gets a setup connection success as an acknowledgement that, hey, now we have connection. Same thing happens from the miner, from the Stratum V1 downstream. So it sends a setup connection to the translator proxy. The proxy sends back a setup connection success. Then a new job comes, right? Upstream sends a new extended mining job message to the translator proxy. And that has a job ID variable, right? Which I'm calling X here. Translator proxy then sends a mining notify, which is an SV1 message, sends it to downstream, to the miner, to the ASIC, and it sends it with the correct job ID. But depending on the firmware implementation on the ASIC, maybe it's not smart enough to start to switch to the new job very quickly. So it will send back an old share, a share that now is invalid. We don't care about this share anymore. So it should be rejected, right? But right now in the translator proxy implementation, we're returning true. There's a Boolean flag there, result, and we're returning true, which is saying to the downstream, hey, yeah, we accepted this share. That's not what we want. We want to return false as a signal that the share was rejected, and as a signal that the firmware should stop mining on that job. So now we want to reproduce this bug with the message generator. We want to create a test that when this bug triggers the test should fail, right? So then later we fix the bug, the test passes, and we solve the problem. So yeah, that's the context for this coding session that we're gonna do. And now we dive into the code, right? So I have my IDE here with SRI project has been cloned, and we dive into the test directory, I guess. This is where my knowledge starts to fall short, and this is where I need we're going to start guiding me a little bit. But yeah, we have the test directory, message generator directory, mock, and so where do we start, Gorman?
Okay, so may I present my screen?
Yes. Let me switch over here.
Okay.
Stop presenting.
Because it is easier for me to.
Mm-hmm. No screen yet.
Yes, sorry. Now it should be okay. Now you should see my screen.
It's all black for me, at least.
Yes, it's. Do you see something?
I see your mouse.
You don't see.
Me too. It's a black screen.
Okay, so we could not get Lurban's screen, so we're gonna do it on my screen. And so, do we need to create a new file here inside the test directory?
Yes, you have to create a new file, and I would take another a modification or another I would like to modify a test that is already existing in order to have to do not start from scratch. So you can take, for example, the translate the under the directory test message generator test, and then translation proxy proc pool.
This one. So should I copy it into a new file?
Yes, and you can copy to a new file.
Translator proxy. Let me think of a good name for this. rejected share, old share .json. Okay.
Okay, so let me open it also on my end. And what do you want to do here? You can see that there are several. Um, I mean, I would prefer go direct into the actual test, so that we can talk about something.
Okay.
So here you can see that a test is a JSON with several fields, and there may be some common messages or some mining messages. These in these fields you put the messages that you want to send, the and then you in the field frame builders you build the actual SV2 frame. And there are two ways to do that. The one is automatic and the other is manual. So for now we use automatic. And then there are the actions. Okay, so the action here um, okay, let's go back a little to frame builders. Here you can see that there is this array. Okay, so this address. So if you go to this file common message.json, we can go there. Okay. There is under the director messages there is common messages
Yeah, I
dot
have it open on
json.
my IDE now.
Good. And you can see that there is a message that is called with ID setup connection success proxy.
Setup connection and setup connection success.
Success. Yes, it should be. Wait a second.
Yeah, I see both messages, and I see also there's different variants, right? There's sort of multiple versions of the same message.
Yes, yes, because here basically you can see if you take this setup connection success proxy, there is just one message, one field of this JSON with this ID, and actually every
This one.
message is identified with an ID.
Uh-huh.
So here you can, for example, you can use this is done for modularity, so that you don't have to put the setup connection messages in the same file, and you put all together and you can reuse them. This is done for modularity. But if for example we see another if we see another message, because here in frame builders in the previous message actually we construct the frame, and we use this message ID that in this case points to a module of other messages, but usually here there should be something that points to to a message in common messages. So if we copy that message in common messages and we use just the ID setup connection success.tt proxy, should be exactly the same. And here is how we build messages. Then we go to actions, and what we do in actions. In actions, an action can act as an upstream or as a downstream. Okay, so
What does server role server mean?
upstream
Okay.
server and upstream, they should be interchangeable.
Okay.
So I mean, they are not really because a server of your server is still an upstream, but it's not your server. But I don't know if this makes any sense. Anyway, this is you can set an action in a role server, and this tells that this action is performed to the as is performed as a server. So what this action does? Okay, first we have to know that message generator test is a test for a software. So you have your software and you want to test it. Okay,
Yeah.
and how do you test it? You first you have to make it run. Okay, so here if you go to setup connection, sorry, to setup commands, we can see that we actually run the our application that we
Yeah.
want to test.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
good.
here we're gonna start the translator proxy, right?
Yes,
It's
yes.
the only real piece of software that we want in this setup, right? Both upstream and downstream are gonna be sort of mocked. They're just being emulated by the message generator, and we're actually testing the translator proxy, right?
I don't know if you can in the same test have tests that are I mean can set as upstream or as downstream at the same time, but this doesn't matter because we can use a mock that is I will talk about later. So this setup commands actually you run the tester the application that you want to test, or
Yeah.
even to run an interoperability test, because if here at at the same time for example, let's say that I have deployed somewhere a template provider, and then I deploy the pool, then I deploy the job declarator server, I deploy the job declarator client, the translation proxy, and then a mining device. And I can run all these applications together, okay? And I basically um, am doing sort of interoperability test. And here, this setup command is accepted once that we see this string in the output location, in the right output location. Okay. So what this command does? This performs this command, launches the translation proxy, and waits until this string has appeared. Okay, usually there is something listening on this port. Okay, here there is this string that is compares when you launch the translation proxy. And here there is a timer. I mean, if we don't see this output string in 260 seconds, then the test fails. But if we see this, it means that the test is running successfully. Okay. and we can start the actual test. So here in the action, we can see that there is this action, how it's composed. This action, there is this field, the first action in the field actions. There are several subfields, and if we take the first one, we can see that there is message IDs, role, and results. Okay, so these in message IDs, usually we put the messages that we want to send. Okay, to send to the upstream or to the downstream,
And we
depending on
take the string that was defined on common messages.json, right?
Yes, yes,
the name of
but
the
here,
message ID.
but here we don't send any message because we are performing this test as an upstream. So actually, we are waiting the translation proxy to send us a setup connection. Okay. So here there is the results are the results that we expect. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we expect there is this type of result that is match message type that tells the software to wait for a message, and if it arrives, to see if the type is 0.
Why 0?
Because every message there is there is under, let me see, every SV2 message has a type.
Yeah. Is
So,
that I think I remember that from the spec.
Yes. For example, if you go in protocols V2 and const SV2, you can see all the types.
Yeah, it's chapter 8 of the specs.
Message types.
Also.
Setup connection, message type 0x00. Okay, yeah, that explains it. So this means that we're expecting a setup connection message.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So after that the setup connection message is received, that there is another action, and this action actually sends a success, okay, to our translation proxy. And then there is the following action that I mean, what does the translation proxy do? It connects to an upstream, sends a setup connection, waits that a setup connection success is received, and then open a channel. In particular, since it's a translation proxy, has to open an extended channel. Because standard channel is, I think, is only for SV2 downstreams.
Yeah. So did I forget? Did I miss this here? Should I on this visual diagram? Should I add another message here, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you have to open a channel.
So it would be something like this. This. Oops. And then do we get that success?
I don't.
Let me check on the
I don't
spec.
think so.
Mining protocol. Yeah, we get a success.
I think yes, we get a success. Yes, but not in this particular test. Okay.
Okay. We don't need to check it on this test.
Yes, I mean, we send back, yes, we send back um, an open extended mining channel success. Okay. Here, usually, here we use this notation to have just the acronym. This is if you see the following message with message ID open extended mining channel success the proxy bed extra nonce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this we
And
have to remove this, right? Because this is not part of what we want to do here.
no, but wait for removing. First, I want
Okay.
to explain. We
Okay.
will remove it for
Uh-huh.
sure because we don't want to send back a bad extra nonce.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that the translation proxy checks the extra nonce that is of a particular form. I don't know. I didn't do this test. I didn't remember actually, but whatever. Um, Here we see that we wait that. Firstly, we can see every action what it does with the action doc. Okay,
With the
that
action
is
what? Sorry.
actual the action doc field.
Okay.
Every action.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I
And this
mean
is
it's
this field is just to improve readability of the test, not really doing anything for the test.
no.
Yeah.
It's doing nothing just
Mm-hmm.
for readability.
Yeah.
And then we send this message ID. Okay, this message with message IDs. There is this message open EMC success the proxy bed extra nonce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And
and
this is from the broke pool that we copied
yes,
this from, right? And that was the scenario that was being emulated on this this test that
yes.
we've
I
done.
mean, we can see this message is above is open EMC. If we go above, there should be this message.
Yeah.
Well, not it's not there. In a separate module.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go
It's in the
to
mining
this,
messages.
yes,
Uh-huh.
exactly. If we go to mining messages, yes, there is the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so so this message is not valid. I mean, it's a valid message, but the extra nonce prefix and sites it shouldn't be like this. I think this is a bad extra nonce. This message contain a bad extra nonce. Okay,
Yeah.
so we send this message, and since this message it's malformed, we expect the translation proxy to close the connection. And
Mm-hmm.
so here we expect this close connection message.
Sorry, can I interrupt you just a
Yes.
second? Could you show us where this open EMC success, etc., is imported?
Yes. If you go to the root directory test, then message generator.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see your screen. Okay, messages. Now, the first one. Okay, mining messages.
Mm-hmm.
In here there is. Uh, if you see at the ID. Okay.
Yeah.
The first message at the ID. It recognizes the messages by the ID.
But don't you need to import in the actual test?
Yes, because you actually import, because you point to with the path to this file, and go above to the frame builders. Okay.
Okay, now I see it. Okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
great.
Now you get it how they work.
Yeah. Also for the purpose of the recording. it's important to show again
Yes,
where the
yes,
messages
yes.
are imported.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can define them in the directly in the test. Actually, let me see if I can find a test with. Okay, if you open the test that is called translation proxy,
Yep.
okay, then we can see here at the common messages there is a setup connection success, and you don't import it, but you use it. You define here you define in these fields you define the common messages, the mining messages, and whatever.
Uh-huh. This would be a
So
more verbose way to do it, right? But since we're gonna do this many times, it makes more sense to put it in a file and just import it
yes,
on this style
yes, just a
with
module.
frame
Okay.
builders. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you put a module in mining messages. I mean, you put a module in a separate JSON, and when
Mm-hmm.
you parse the message, the code knows if you return to the previous translation proxy broke pool. Here at the frame builders, you see the I don't know the name in English of interpunction, the double point. How is the name in English of the interpunction after common messages.json?
This line?
Okay, let me see. Wait. Yes, here it tells the code that you have to go to that file and uh, and and deserialize it and see if there is an item in JSON, actually in the type of the JSON, there is an item with that ID.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and if when we start to do job declaration protocol tests, then we probably need to create a new file here on messages, right? And put like job declaration job declaration messages.json with common messages that are exchanged with that protocol.
Yes, I mean, this can be a very good exercise,
Uh huh.
actually, because we use job declaration messages. I think we use them. I don't remember, but I think somewhere we use some job declaration messages somewhere. But usually the job declaration messages, I mean, we use the job declarator, and usually the job declarator is just a message generator application, a particular message generator application that is called a mock. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I before going to this to our particular case, I think that it's a good idea since we need this concept. It's a good idea to look at another test and see if we can find a test with a mock.
Okay.
Let me see. Wait a second. Oh, wait. Okay, if we go to pull SRI test one standard.json.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Firstly, every test has a version. So either we are testing SV2 messages or SV1 or just Stratum messages. So this field tells you which version are you testing. That it can be either 1 or 2.
Okay.
Um,
For our particular case that we're trying to reproduce,
it's
we're
going to
gonna
be 1.
have both kinds. We're gonna have V2 messages and V1 messages. So what should we put on this version field for our case?
1, and for messages with the upstream, we deploy a mock.
Okay.
But this is why I say that we are going to use. I'm going to explain what is a
Yeah.
mock
So let's
because
dive into the mock.
yes.
Uh huh.
So here, if you look at this test and you go to setup commands, okay, that is you can look through the file. Is the
Mm-hmm.
one of the last. Okay, this. Okay, so here you can see cargo run and then template provider mock. Okay,
Uh huh.
this execute another message generator test, but it's not really a test in the true sense, because this is just an application that pretends to be the template provider.
Uh
If you
huh.
can go to the setup commands. Ah, okay, we are in the template provider mock.
Yeah.
Here this test is just an application that pretends to be the template provider.
Mm-hmm.
So if we go through it, there is clearly the new template message. Then let me, if you go below, there is a set new prevash. Okay, again a new template message that has a different ID. If you go, well, yes, this ID is new template 2 because it's another new template. And then there is another set new prepash because we want this mock to pretend to be a template provider that sends first a new template, then a second set new prefash, then
Mm-hmm.
sorry, sends a new template message, then it sends set new prefash, and then again a new template and a set new prefash.
Mm-hmm.
So here this call is going to finish in 15 minutes. Okay, we can open a new call.
Yeah. Yeah. We just I'll
We can
extend call.
we will, yes, we will manage it later. Ah, you can extend it.
No, no, I cannot. I guess I need to pay Google.
Yes.
Well, we'll figure it out. I'll just pause the recording and we'll figure it out. You can, yeah, you can
We can
continue.
open a different. I can host one. I think, but
Mm-hmm.
we will think about in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So here we can see that there are these messages. Okay, let's go to frame builders. Then it's below. Before you have the messages, and then at frame builder you are building the frames with
Mm-hmm.
the messages that you defined before.
Yeah.
Here again we have a particular message that is defined in that is
Hello.
So here we can see that these frame builders just constructs the frames to send, okay, and the first frame it takes the message that is defined elsewhere,
Yeah.
earlier, like I said earlier, and then all the other messages are defined in this very same test,
So
okay, in
yeah.
this
So
case.
a good idea here would also be to take these declarations of messages here, and we could create a new file here in messages, like template provider messages, right? And we could have that have these messages living in a different file. That would kind of simplify things and modularize things a little bit more.
Yes, yes, you can do that. You can
Mm-hmm.
do that, definitely. And if we go if we return to, okay, this is basically a mock, okay?
Okay, yeah.
This is basically what is a mock.
And
That is just a,
yeah, go
sorry.
ahead.
Okay, yes, it's just a particular type of message generator test, and its purpose is not to test something, but to behave like an application.
Yeah. So
Because
here
we know.
in our scenario, we're gonna be essentially mocking the upstream and the downstream, right? So I'm gonna put those with a different color here just to signal.
No, wait.
Huh.
What do you do? Because you want to test the communication. What you want to do is, in your particular case, is to test the communication between the T-proxy and the SV2 downstream, the mining
Correct.
device.
Correct. Yeah.
So this is what the test is going to do. Okay, the test is going to do exactly this. Okay, with this you can construct the messages. You can construct whatever you need, and then you can try to reproduce this error.
Yeah, but then just to
But
confirm that I'm understanding things correctly. To reproduce this scenario, we
yes,
need to have two mocks, right? We need to have a mock for upstream, because the upstream is gonna send a new extended mining job message to T-proxy, and that is what triggers T-proxy to send a mining notify message. And then after that, we also mock the downstream. The downstream is sending.
we don't mock the downstream, the SV2 downstream, because you can do it in the test. You can send these messages because you are testing here the communication. So in the same JSON, you launch firstly the mock of the upstream. Okay,
Yeah.
so that because you cannot run a template a translation proxy without any connection to a pool or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to connect to an upstream,
Mm-hmm.
and this will be done with a mock. Okay.
Yeah.
Then in the test, then you have to write the actual test that you want to perform. So this test is you launch firstly the mock, then the template, the translation proxy.
Yes.
And once that you launched the translation proxy, then you have two message, three messages. Okay, sorry. You in mine there is one message in common messages that you can build. That is the setup connection.
Yeah.
And the test is performed like as a downstream, so that you send this setup connection to the translation proxy. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you build this fake message and you send it. And okay, let's think in a serialized way. First, you have to build the messages that you will need. So you will need a setup connection message, and you will
Mm-hmm.
need a mining submit message. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So then you have the actions. Okay. Then you okay. First you have to build the frames, but let's say that you already had this. You're already. I mean, this is easy to do. You just tell the message generator to build the frames. Then what do? You perform the actions. The first action, it will be to send a setup connection to your to translation proxy that
Mm-hmm.
is on your right. It's not that setup connection, because on the left the communication is handled by the mock, but the
Okay.
test
This we're gonna
is on the
send.
right. Yes,
We're gonna send this setup connection
this setup connection. Yes,
as an action, as
and
an MG action.
yes, there is the first action that sends this message. Okay, so in message IDs there is the ID of this message,
Mm-hmm.
and then you wait a setup connection success.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is a second action, okay, that does not send any message and waits a mining notify. Okay, it's on the
But
right.
don't we need a new extended mining job to sort of trigger
No,
the translator
no,
proxy?
yeah, yes, but this is done in the mock.
So the mock.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yes, everything that is on the left of this message is the communication on the left of the translation proxy is handled by the mock, and
Okay.
everything on the right is handled by your test.
Okay.
And your test will launch. The first thing that will do your test is to launch the upstream mock.
Okay.
Then it launches the translation proxy, and then it performs this, sends all these messages to the translation proxy as a downstream.
Okay, so I changed the colors. Do you think this is more accurate now? On the left, upstream is an MG mock. On the right, SV1 downstream is MG test actions.
Yes, don't know. Perhaps it's good. I mean, it's fine. It's to have with different colors. So, what do we do now? Now I say, okay, we write there is the messages, and we write the setup connection messages in common messages, and then the mining submit in submit messages. I think I don't know which is the type of message with which is encoded as V2 messages, but you have to write before this message mining submit. Then you have to build these messages. Okay. You have to build these messages, and
what do you mean by build?
With frame builders.
Okay. Okay, so that means that I'm gonna declare that here.
Yes. First, wait a second, because perhaps because this is SV1 connection.
Yes.
So
yeah, we don't have a frame for that, right?
No, we don't have a frame, so there is no frame builder. But there is one test that uses SP1 messages, and this SP1 test. And this particular case is a good candidate also because there is another use case of SV1 communication. So if you go to SV1 test,
yeah.
Okay. First, you can see the version is 1.
Yes.
The version is 1. Okay. So there is the messages. Okay. And here you have the messages that you will need are these messages. And then go down, we can see mining authorized, mining subscribe. I mean, there are several messages. And then there should be the actions. Yes, there are the actions. Okay.
I don't see actions. Oh, I saw it. Fine. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, there are the actions. And I don't think that there is an SV1 message that is a setup connection. I think
no, that is authorized.
Authorized. So in your image, they will be authorized. The first
That's
message.
true. Yeah, mining dot authorize, and you'll get back a result. True, I guess, something like that.
Yes, whatever. I mean, it's. I personally never wrote an SV1 test because SV1 capability was added by another contributor something like 1 year ago or something like this, and he wrote this test that was very good actually. And so what you are going to do is basically if you return to the test,
Yeah.
there are in here in messages, go above. Here in messages you will have the first message that you want to write, that was mining authorized or something like this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is mining submit.
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna
Something like
do
this.
something
Okay.
like this, and then I'm mining submit. Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. Then you have two actions. Okay, can we return to that image, to the previous image? Okay. Then we have two actions. The first action, it sends this message mining authorize, and the result, the action result, that is a field of the item action, it waits a confirmation from the translation proxy.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is another action that just waits the mining.notify. Okay.
Mm. Okay, so we wait for
The
this.
set, yes, doesn't send any message and just wait for. Also, the action before waits for the message, for the
Uh-huh.
responding message. Okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
every
yeah, yeah.
action sends some messages, or either no messages, and waits some messages. But
Mm-hmm.
the number of messages that sends or awaits can be zero. I mean, can send empty message. You can have, I think, one action that doesn't send any message, and then doesn't wait any message. This action will be clearly, will pass, will
Mm-hmm.
be successfully, because trivially
Mm-hmm.
successful. But then you have to send a mining submit. Okay, the message,
Okay.
there is the last action will be a mining submit, and in this action you wait below. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So now we're gonna, when we wait here, we need to wait for false, right? On our test.
Okay. Are, as are we still registering,
Yes, I am.
recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I wanted to say is that I will spend a little more time with this particular case, and try to write some message. Okay, so some actual. I will try briefly to write the mock and this test, and
Mm-hmm.
let's see if we can. But after, I would like also to discuss the GitHub example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
because
are you gonna try to write it on your machine?
well, we have that problem. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Okay, but firstly, let's finish this explanation. Okay, so now it's to finish this explanation
Yeah.
and talk a little about the other use case about GitHub,
Mm-hmm.
if it possible.
Sure.
So we can resume the. Tell me when you resume the
It's
recording.
already recording again.
Ah, okay. So what I wanted to say, resuming, there is
I yeah, we were talking about the actions here, and uh so we're waiting for the translator proxy to send a mining notify, right? So we write an action that is just waiting for a message,
yes.
and then
If you
we
can,
yeah.
if you can box these arrows, or make them with the same color, because the first two arrows on the right hand of the translation proxy are the
Uh-huh.
same action. Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
perfect. Okay, very good. So this is an action, the first action. Okay.
Yes.
And then if you go to the immediate the arrow immediate below,
Mm-hmm.
there is this 1 second action that just waits this message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So should I put a box on that too?
Yes, let's box all the actions.
Okay.
Okay. And then the last two arrows are their self in action.
Both arrows.
Yes, because you have an action. You have you send the previously compiled frame that is mining submit, and you send it to the translation proxy,
Mm-hmm.
and then you must wait. I mean, it depends what behavior you want to test. If you want to replicate the error, you must wait a result true.
I know. Yeah.
But
Yeah. But
if
now I just switched this right now, and I switched it to false because now with the mindset that we want this to be a test, right? So now we write the test expecting the correct behavior of the translator proxy, and if the translator proxy behaves differently, the test fails. So that's why I put false here.
you can put no the test, I mean, you can put true and the test pass. Usually this is the correct use that you make with the
No, but
with
the
the
point is
message.
that if translator proxy returns true here, that means there's a bug in translator proxy. So, and we don't want the message generator to pass when there's a bug.
Yes, I mean, we are talking about the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Literally, I mean, this is, I mean, either you want to test it by yourself and you want to write a test just
Mm-hmm.
by yourself, just to replicate the error, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can put false or true, whatever, to see what's going on. But after that you saw it and you did a PR, you did
Yeah, 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 yeah.
a modification to the code, then you write that you attach to the PR this message generator test with the correct behavior.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I see your point. Yeah,
Yes,
uh for the sake of this exercise, I think that makes sense.
I mean, you can put true or false, really doesn't matter.
It's yeah,
It's
I understand what you mean.
yeah, and and uh, perhaps if we want to spend some time to GitHub, I mean, I think now there is a sort of introduction to the message generator with one use case.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we pretty exhausted all possible things to say briefly with this test.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we can also talk about the other use case that I tried to understand before, uh, this one about of this pull request. And this is opened by GitHub. So if GitHub you want to discuss something, or you